Amari. You were when we talked to you last year, you were telling us how you really wanted to re-sign here, and that was your intention. Can you talk a little bit about why you were so committed to coming back here, and also explain your decision a little bit about willing to be taking a little bit less than what Washington offered it in order to come back here and play for the Cowboys?
Yeah, I just like everything about being a Dallas Cowboy. I love the culture that we've created here, and just the atmosphere, both in the building and outside of the building, in terms of being in the city of Dallas and the surrounding areas. And I guess that would be the same reasons why I was willing to take less money to stay here. That coupled with the fact that I had the privilege of being able to play on a different team. I understand that every culture isn't the same, every city isn't the same, and every team isn't the same. So me being able to see that while being on another team and having the opportunity to be on a team that I really love, I wouldn't trade that for for a little bit more money.
Amari, how have your discussions been with Coach McCarthy and Kellen the last couple of days that you've been around?
Yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to really talk to them in depth how I wanted to, but I guess we'll be able to get around to that pretty soon.
How much has the offense changed from what you know just from the Zoom meetings and from the playbook? Has the offense changed a lot?
No, it hasn't changed. The plays haven't really changed that much. The verbiage is a little bit different. I think that has a lot to do with, Coach McCarthy coming in and kind of being used to calling certain plays a certain thing. But the plays are pretty much the same or similar.
Amari, we talked to you last year about your consistency at times, and some of the games you were playing at the level you wanted to, not others. How did you work on that in the off season, and just generally, given the pandemic, what have you been able to do to stay in shape and keep your skills sharp?
Yeah, just going back, reviewing film, and seeing what I could have done better in certain situations. How I could have maybe came back to the ball or attacked the ball differently or attacked the defender differently. Just to be more consistent for my team. In terms of the pandemic and staying in shape, I have some machines at home, and I had to sign up for a gym membership when the gyms kind of opened back up, which I was used to doing already because I did it when I was in Oakland. So, yeah.
Amari, what did you think of the team drafting? What did you think of the team drafting CeeDee Lamb, and just what do you think that you guys can do as a receiver group now, adding another piece like him to the offense?
Yeah, I think it was a great pickup. You have to draft the best player on the board. Everybody understands that, and I think he's a great receiver. And I think, with me and Michael Gallup going for 1,000 yards last season, I think the expectation is to have 3,000 yard receivers this year.
Have you gotten to spend any time with him yet?
Yeah, we've been, before we were able to come in the building, we were running routes together, and then, just talking through some routes and stuff like that. So definitely.
What type of learner is he? What have you been able to pick up from him, and how he's going to have to adapt here to the NFL?
I think he's a quick learner. He already has a good foundation. He's fundamentally sound in his route running. It's very small, nitpicky things that I help him with that I may see with him being a rookie. But I think he already has a really good foundation.
What's been your impressions of head coach? What's been your impressions of head coach Mike McCarthy so far, Amari?
Say it again.
What's been your impressions of new head coach Mike McCarthy so far?
What do you mean? My questions of him or to him?
No. What's been sort of your takeaway of him so far? Being in just the Zoom meetings, I know you guys really only got the meeting on Sunday to sort of interact with them. What's been your impression of him so far?
Oh yeah, it's been a good impression, man. Just knowing his background, watching Green Bay over the years and how consistent they've been, and going far into the playoffs and everything like that. I got to talk to Devontae Adams when we were at the Pro Bowl, which is a player who played for McCarthy for a number of years, and he really liked the offense, and he told me that I was going to really like it. So all of my takeaways have been really positive.
Amari, the team posted some videos of you guys making your way into the facility and having some team meetings inside Ford Center, everybody socially distant. What's been maybe the weirdest part to you of getting back in the building and trying to start a season, but under these weird circumstances?
I wouldn't say anything has been weird. I think I've always been, a person who could adapt to any situation, and I understand that, things can play out differently because it's something that's always coming up in life, and so you just have to adapt to those situations, and that's what I've been trying to do.
Amari, you're obviously from Miami, and I assume you have family members in Florida. How have you guys been able to handle the coronavirus with the numbers rising in Florida over the summer?
Yeah, we've been keeping up with it, and we've seen that the numbers have been rising. But my family is pretty much, staying safe, wearing masks, and all those things, and they've been pretty healthy. So I haven't had any cases with my family so far. So they've been doing all the right things.
Amari, I know that you're a big fan of keeping your mind sharp, and that's as important, I think, with COVID as getting physically conditioned. You've been playing a lot of chess lately. Have you read any interesting books to make sure that you're sort of, with all of us who've had anxiety about what this season's going to look like? Can you share that with us if you have?
Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of chess. I just played Cheeto yesterday, but I didn't get the second part of the question.
Has that been virtual chess?
Well, no, we played yesterday in the building. But what was the second part of your question?
I know you're a big fan of reading. Have you had any books that you've read that have helped you this summer and during COVID?
Oh, yeah. I'm currently reading a book called Shoe Dog. I think a lot of people have heard of it. It's the book about Phil Knight.
Phil Knight?
Yeah, and how he started Nike. I'm almost finished with that. So it's been pretty interesting, actually.
What was your takeaway from it?
Well, I started reading it because I want to come out with. I've been planning on coming out with this, brand. I'm not going to disclose any information about the brand yet until it drops. But that's what made me want to start reading it, because I thought, why not learn from one of the best to do it, in terms of branding. So, yeah.
Mark, where were you and TD? Was it just recently here? Was it in Dallas before you guys got together to start working out with each other? And what have you been able to do with Dak here in the off season, if anything, before you guys got to the start?
Yeah, me, Dak, a couple of the other receivers, some tight ends, running backs. We've all been getting together pretty consistently for months now, working on our route running, working on the offense, and everything like that. So we've been getting a lot of work in, getting that timing right, as if we were, doing a mini camp or OTAs.
Have y'all been getting together at that football field at Dak's house?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, he just recently finished it, and we've been there a couple of times. But before that, we were at another location.
Do you feel, or considering the offseason that you guys haven't had, do you feel behind in your preparation for a season at all? Or do you feel like you're ready like any other year?
I feel like I'm ready like any other year because I've been training. But in terms of the team, I feel like everybody has been training. Everybody's been working hard in their off season. And everybody is on a even playing field because, all the teams are starting late. So, whatever the situation is, whatever the circumstance is, I feel like we're going to be ready. I know I'm going to be ready.
Amari, while you secured your long-term future here in this offseason, Dak wasn't able to. Is there any frustration or concern on your part that didn't happen? Do you believe that it will happen going forward, or just how do you view his contract status going into this year?
I don't speak on other people's contract situations.
How would you describe his mindset after it didn't get done?
I wouldn't describe it.
From a team standpoint, being in the locker room, you got the plexiglass between the lockers, how are y'all navigating all the protocols and what y'all are having to deal with?
Just me personally, I'm just adapting to the situation. Whatever the circumstance is, I'll just adapt to it and make it work.
All right, guys, we got time for one more.
Are you optimistic that a seat? Go ahead, Clarence.
Have you guys decided as a team, I know there's been so much talk with the social justice movement, whether you guys were going to kneel or do anything different than you've done in the past?
As a team, we didn't come together and discuss that yet.